Welcome back to Hazardous Endeavors.
Zo!
Hello.
Hi.
Yes, indeed. Welcome to our 5th edition actual play podcast brought to you by Digital and Dice. We're joined once again on the road with our intrepid adventurers, Jaxom, Paladin of Light. We have Wilf, our Wilfiness bard.
The wilfiest of wilfs.
And we have our illustrious Lindo Espina, the beautiful Thorn.
Thank you for saying the whole thing.
Of course. And Elliot Frostmoon, mysterious wizard of Unrelathan.
Yeah, yes, I'm mysterious.
Mysterious even to yourself, one could say.
Mostly.
Yes,
Mostly
indeed.
to yourself.
So we find our intrepid adventurers on the road between Blightwatch and the town of Abbot's Field, which you were headed towards when you found out that there was a bit of a blockade in the road. It seems that some orcs, hobgoblins, and it seems ogres had made their presence known and had blocked the road of all travel and trade in an effort to cut the supply lines between Abbot's Field and Kellenhall, presumably as part of Kavro Seldith's scheme to take over the kingdom. But you made your way there, you snuck up on them for, well, sort of snuck up on. And then after a wonderfully heroic battle, you ended by murdering everyone but one ogre.
Some of us just took the pacifist route.
Right, the ogre who you have been introduced to as Zugtug.
Oh. Zugtug it is.
He seems very intrigued about this whole Palor thing, and has taken to staring at the sun from time to time.
Zugtug shouldn't stare at the sun for longer than 10 minutes.
Garden sun.
Yeah, I understand, but
God.
sometimes we need to avert thy eyes.
Oh,
Yeah.
don't look at God.
Don't want to insult the gods.
Oh, alright.
It's called diverting your eyes. It's a sign of respect.
Dirt nice, right.
Yeah, dirt nice.
And I believe at the end of last encounter, you had said that you were going to send him, preferably with a note of some kind, off to Blightwatch.
And a homemade tabard.
Yeah, we are taking one of those tents, taking it apart, cutting it up a bit, making them here a bit of a tabard, and we're gonna be drawing on it a big bright sun.
Okay. So you take the time out to do that. You go and you take one of the tents, you tear it down, you cut it into what basically ends up as a fairly large tabard. You have a big symbol of Palor emblazoned on the front.
And I draw a gigantic sun that looks like a 2-year-old made it.
Right.
Perfect.
And you send him on his way alone with
a big note.
Tag to his buttocks, so he does not itch it off.
While they're doing that, I will cast Sending, because I still have 3rd level spells left.
Right.
And actually talk to Varaxlin.
Okay.
And I will say, Sir Varaxlin of Blightwatch, we have gained a new recruit for your army.
Okay, that's your message?
Yes.
Alright. The response you get back is, ha 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 ha! Excellent, friend! Yeah, send them along. We will show them the light. And then, at the coming of the dawn, they will fight the... And then, of course, the message spell cuts off.
So I think
I'm
I
so
think
glad
you
that's
should
only 23
probably
words.
do the note, Jaxom. I mean, it's best letter of introduction you can get.
Yes, I was planning on that.
Remember, Zugtug, you just follow the road until you get to the Blightwatch, where a large man who laughs too much will be there to greet you, and then you can kill for Palor.
Alright.
Kill zombies for Palor, because Palor hates zombies.
Oh, you can kill,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
and
Alright.
they feed you.
Oh, alright.
Clap. Big, meaty hands clapping.
I like you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I write out a note chronicling a little bit of what happened and the entire ridiculousness of how we came to recruit him.
Sure. Okay. And you hand that note off, to which, of course, Zugtug immediately just kind of shoves it in, like,
No,
the belt.
We pin it on him.
You pin it on him.
Yeah.
Okay. You pin the note to him.
Right on the front of his tunic.
Okay.
Okay.
He almost looks proud as he's standing there.
Yeah.
You
No.
are so magnanimous. That's a word.
Alright.
And there you go, and you send poor Zugtug off the road.
Poor Zugtug. Zugtug will be a hero.
Right.
People far and wide shall sing of praises of Zugtug, proud knight of Palo.
I'm so
Or at
proud.
least I'm going to ensure that they do.
Hey,
That's
they
fair.
grow up so fast.
I mean, we've already started a legend about a boot. Why not an ogre?
Except this one isn't alive.
Hey, it's faith-based stuff. It's only a lie till it's not a lie.
Goodbye, Zugtug.
Okay, then. So you guys, you watch as Zugtug wanders down the road to the east. Every so often you see him kind of stop and like stare off, looking up at the sun for a moment until he shakes his head, and then just kind of stumbles for a moment and then continues walking.
That ogre will be blind before he gets to Blightwatch.
Perfect for religion, then.
Blind people?
Yeah. Don't tell me that there's not all these religious muckety-mucks about curing blindness and making people well.
Or as the opposite, like a wise old blind man on top of a mountain.
Yeah.
Those are like religious, right?
Smite.
Yeah.
Jaxom looking at you, his sword starts glowing in its scabbard for just a moment. Right.
Okay, so maybe we should get going, eh?
Don't harm your friends, Jaxom. That's my job.
That it. Wait, what?
I mean,
And on that note, so you start heading down the road to the southwest on the way towards Abbot's Field. Do you guys do anything with the blockade at all? Do you clear anything off the road? Do you do anything that way?
I
That-
tried to push things off at the road and realize that I am not meant for hard manual labor.
you know, the great thing about them making a ditch and everything, it's a convenient place to put the bodies.
Hey, Elliot, you should go like boom, and then they should go poof. Right? That's how that works? That's how magic works?
I don't know that spell.
Okay, you have mind powers? Yes. Jaxom, you hit the thing and it'll fly, right?
So we take a little bit of time, dismantle as much of the blockade as is feasibly possible for, you know, people who aren't very good at working hard, except for Jaxom.
Right. Okay.
And then I'll head on our way.
Just like kick a piece of like dirt.
All right.
Something with my foot.
But all you can lift, yeah.
If you can burn the bodies, then they don't stink.
Well, we're gonna burn the bodies anyways because we're dealing with these people were ordered by an undead lich.
I'm not going to be ashamed of saying that perhaps I look around and loot the place.
That's entirely reasonable.
We need
I
to
think.
set things on fire, huh? Oh, look. Searing smite.
Right. So, looking around, you do notice something falling off your table.
Everything is fine.
You do notice that there does seem to be a good deal of supplies here. More than likely from the various, carts and wagons that have been sent to supply up Blightwatch. So, probably a good deal of the stuff here belongs to the people of Abbot's Field and Blightwatch.
If only we had a wagon to transport it. Oh wait, it's about
We do.
100 feet down that way.
This whole thing is made out of wagons. Also, we have a charge. Yes, we have your
We have
walkie thing.
we have a wagon.
We have a wagon and we have 2 horses, according to an episode about 8
Right.
episodes ago.
Aha!
This is true. So someone, I'm assuming, wrote that down in their either possessions or equipment of some kind?
Obviously not us, but maybe Elliot.
I'm
Okay,
just going to assume Elliot's going back and listening to previous episodes to find out what he has.
No.
somebody has to be smart enough to do so.
That's fair. That's fair. But anyways, we load up the wagon with the supplies for the town,
Okay.
And since we're probably going to be going back up to Blightwatch anyways, we might as well just bring them down to the town, and then we can maybe help
That
them get
seems fair.
more supplies back up to Blightwatch.
Okay. So you load up the cart, you hitch up your horses.
It might be. There's multiple carts there, right?
There are multiple pieces of multiple carts, yes.
Oh wow.
You're able
Okay.
to piece together a good functioning cart out of several of the ones that have been broken down and used as barricades.
Cool. We can use the third horse that we can have so we have enough room for most of the stuff.
summoned horse?
Yes.
Gotcha. Now I'm going to assume that that you guys had left your horses. Actually, remember, horses in a cart. You had left it previously down the road when you snuck up through the barricade.
That's correct.
So that's the one you load up, and then you hitch up another cart to your imaginary friend horse,
Yep.
and then
Does your
you.
imaginary friend horse have a name?
Yeah, Jaxom, does your imaginary friend horse have a name?
Probably.
He can't speak horse.
It should be named Binky.
Isn't that a part of the spell? I think he can.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty sure you get to name it. I mean,
It's Binky. Binky.
All right, well-
I've never seen him to speak horse.
how about we touch base back with you at the end of the episode and see if you have a name for your horse?
Anyways,
Miracles can happen.
All right, miracle then. It's a miracle.
oh god,
I don't do.
That's-
I know. DM is wrong.
no, the GM is making Mel Brooks references.
I am indeed. So, regardless of the names of your horses, you trot them along the road, clearing away the barricades a bit, and making your way southwest towards Blightwatch, towards Abbot's Field.
Yeah, no, we don't go.
No,
to
no, 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 no,
Blightwatch.
no, you're going to Abbot's
no.
Field. Off you go, Abbot's Field, away. So, I believe, according to my map, which I am attempting to pull up at this very moment because I am not a prepared DM,
Oh,
I'm not indeed.
jazz hands. To
Jazz
entertain.
hands.
La 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 la.
There was a barricade at 2.5 days
Yep.
there, and then it's another 2.5 days. Cool. So, travel is another 2.5 days down the road.
It's
You
almost like
pass
they
by
barricaded it halfway between.
almost
Blightwatch
exactly
and
by
Abbott's
accident.
Field.
Funny how that
That
works.
would be odd.
I know.
Yeah. So, 2.5 days of travel. You make your way past another couple copses of trees, a smaller forest. You start noticing that you're actually headed downhill a little ways, just because the grade of the terrain around you is starting to make its way down to the southern coast. And as you're continuing on, sure enough, midway through the second and a half day.
You mean midway through the third day? Because
That one,
two and a half.
midway through the third day. That's exactly when that happens. You
Math.
are making your way down a particular hillside, and ahead of you, stretching out into the to the coast down several miles away, you're actually able to see the town of Abbot's Field. I can speak today.
I believe you.
The surrounding countryside is full of farms
Does
and
the Abbot
vineyards.
have a habit?
And, he more than likely does. You'll have to find out when
A
you get there.
habit of it?
Is it a good habit or a bad habit?
Yet again, something you'll find out when you get there. So ahead of you, again, you see farmland stretching out quite a ways down the hillsides around you, stretching off to the east and west over on either side of the road. They seem to wrap around the city on its eastern side, and they stretch down towards the coastline as well. This is one of the larger agrarian communities in the area. A lot of the grains and vegetables and things like that are shipped out to other places in the kingdom come from Abbot's Field. A lot of the people around here are fairly devout, and it's because of the massive chapel of the Dawnfather that exists right there at the top of the hill overlooking the coast part of the town.
Well, then let's hop to it. I can barely contain myself.
It's just a hop, skip, and a jump down to the
Yeah,
city.
that's along the grain of the jokes I was making.
Right, until things go awry. And Jaxom, it's been a little while since you've been back, but it's looking about the same as when you left it. A couple smaller farms have cropped up here and there, and a couple of the houses on some of the other ones that were there before seem to have grown a bit. but for the most part, the city is about the same.
That brings up memories of days toiling in the sun, helping to farm and plant things.
Absolutely. And as you're passing, you see people toiling away in said fields. They give a wave as your band makes their way by.
Hello.
They're far enough away; they're not there in conversational distance, but they definitely
Lindo says
acknowledge
hello
you friendly
anyways.
wise.
Don't underestimate the actual lung capacity of Lindo.
Also true.
He'll make himself heard somehow.
Thank you.
I guess I'll just sort of play a jaunty little tune as we're heading on in. Yeah.
Okay, and go ahead and give me a roll just to see how well you're entertaining
How-
the masses on your way through.
Jaunty my tunage is
Roll for jauntiness.
18.
Hey, that is pretty damn jaunty. So your tune jaunts the countryside fairly well. Vigorously jaunting the countryside.
Vigorously jaunting.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Typically, I believe that's done indoors.
We hope. There are children!
He's a gnome, whatevs.
They can't see him past the grass.
Yeah.
So it takes you, again, the rest of the afternoon to travel the next couple miles down to the outskirts of the town. Unlike Kellenhall and Blightwatch, this town does not have a perimeter wall set up. The town just kind of spreads out from the foot of the hill that overlooks the area around it. And at the top of the hill is the actual temple to the Dawnfather, which is, again, fairly massive. It's set up so that it can actually maintain living quarters for at least 36 priests. So
Almost like an abbey.
it's pretty much exactly an abbey, yeah.
An abbey in Abbot Field.
Yeah.
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 Does the Dawnfather have a nephew named Sunny?
Oh, get it.
He has a son named Kellendar Brightblade, if that's what you're asking.
No.
No. That's
no.
His
no.
brother Sonny.
God,
Not quite a
Godfather
dick.
joke.
Oh, gotcha.
It's a Godfather joke.
It's called culture. Disembodied voice of
Yeah,
the
but
GM.
Sonny.
Yes,
From
no,
the-
that was the
right.
joke.
Get it?
It was funny because Godfather and also Baylor catch up.
Okay, fair. Fair points. All
No,
right.
ketchup is red.
Sorry, my bad.
Sunny D.
That's what we call
Sonny
the Dawn.
Sonny Dawnfather.
That's what we call the Dawnfather. We call him the Sunny D.
I always wondered what the D meant in Sonny D. Man, I've been living a lie this whole time. Okay, then. So, again, sure enough, the town spreading out in front of you, mostly residential on the outskirts, but as you're making your way towards the middle, it seems that right at the base of the hill is a large open farmer's market where all of the different farmers from the area and the fishermen from the coast all bring their wares to then distribute out. It's not known as a center of trade when it comes, in regards to some of the other cities around. To the north, Jaral is much closer to a lot of the other cities in kind of the northern parts of the continent. And albeit this is the closest city to Anrilathan when it comes to boat travel, Anrilathan doesn't deal a lot with boat travel. They prefer a lot more arcane methods, just for reliability. So it doesn't get quite a bit of traffic that you might expect. But its farming community is alive and well, and you can see that by the fact that a good, say, eighth of the city is taken up by this massive open market right there in the center. So,
Shopping.
It seems rather idyllic.
indeed. To which, as you're making your way down into the town itself, you are noticed but not stopped by the town guard, who seem to be wearing kind of the livery of the temple. They are not all they're not all paladins. There are a few of them, but mostly they're just militia and volunteers from the community who are working as town guard here. So, making your way into the town itself, you find yourself there at the base of the hill, looking up at the massive abbey ahead of you, surrounded by people going about their daily trade.
I have been to one of these before, and I'm pretty sure they told me to leave. Something about nuns. I don't know.
Nuns, vows, that sort of thing.
What's a vow?
It's like a verbal marker, like an IOU, but you do it with your mouth for like gods and things.
Oh yeah, no, there was definitely oh gods, my mouth, and also IOUs.
Makes sense.
Yeah, no, abbeys. No, I get that.
Right.
You're being kept on a short leash here.
So, Jaxom, you would know that there really isn't much space in the Abbey itself for visitors. Usually people hold up at local inns in the town where when they are needed.
All right. So before we make our way to the Abbey, we should stop, secure rooms.
Do they not have rooms in the abbey?
It's not as helpful for.
Takes all the romance out of you sneaking into the window if you're staying there.
Ah, that's fair. Okay, so the inn it is. What is the closest, most nazi inn there is?
There is one fairly nearby, towards the base of the hill where the road switchbacks back and forth, leading up to the doors to the Abbey itself. You would notice the Tilted Chalice.
Ah, yes, the Tilted Chalice.
Also, should we talk to like a mayor or like the abbot or someone about us finding their supplies so that they can actually go and supply Blightwatch?
Once we're done checking in, yes, we will make our way to the Abbey itself.
That makes sense.
Well, then wicked tinkers.
Okay.
He said words. Wicked what?
Wicked tinkers.
Wicked tinkers.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like it. Okay, carry on.
Okay. So the Tilted Chalice, again, right off the Market Square area. You make your way in. It seems to be a two-story affair with a open, kind of an open floor plan loft area above the main bar. You see a couple tables and patrons are sitting up, enjoying their afternoon and early evening as they're getting their foods and their drink on. You know, Jaxom, that quite a lot of the local farmers also have brewing and things of that nature. Your tenets are more of don't drink to excess, not necessarily don't drink.
Okay.
So, moderation in that regard. But they do make some fine quality wines and beers in the area. The rest of the inn you see is sparsely populated. There's probably about 8 other patrons spread about doing their thing. Most of them seem to be chatting amiably with each other, talking about the day's business.
I'm not going to lie, I'm a little hesitant of going into an inn, in fear that a tiny little bone child will suck the life out of me.
It's
come
far
on,
less likely here.
You can always sleep in the cart.
Also, those things were adorable. Terrifying, but adorable.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Also, we could just ask the innkeeper if he's dead or not.
Do you think he will answer politely?
Or, wait, Jaxom,
Yes.
is the innkeeper dead?
You look over at the bar, and behind it you see a female elven woman. She seems to have what look to be faint kind of green and brown tattoos going from the center of her forehead off down the right side of her face, down her neckline and into the neckline of her shirt. You probably didn't stay here much because of your time here was mostly spent either in the Abbey or
In the fields.
In the fields, so
Yeah.
you don't necessarily know the people in town. But you vaguely remember that this inn did indeed have an elven woman as the owner and innkeeper.
Lindo, get her.
She doesn't look dead. That's what you're saying.
Elves.
Yeah.
I can never tell what they have from, the shoulders down. They all kind of vaguely look the same-ish.
What?
Lindo, that hasn't stopped you in the past.
I'm not saying that it's going to stop me. I'm just saying I'm always... It's like a mystery box. When you go to a festival and you pay like $1 and you get the box and you open it up and it could be full of surprises. It's like that. All elves are like this.
Oh, see, all the festival boxes that I've ever gotten had a chance of exploding.
Well, in fairness,
Gnomes.
Pretty much.
So you make your way into the inn. The proprietor looks over and raises a delicate eyebrow as the group makes their way in, but seems to have a smile on her face. And
ever so delicate eyebrow.
indeed, as the smile plays across her lips, she gives a nod and says, "Welcome to the Tilted Chalice. What is it that I can do for you?"
We are going to be needing some rooms for a couple of evenings.
Very well, very well. The going rate here is 3 silver a night for each room. How many rooms will you need?
4.
Here's
What the four is
6
good.
silver.
Okay, so Elliot just dropped 6 silver right on the counter.
I also do these things.
Okay. So the two of you have dropped yours, and that's 2 nights per person then, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Very well,
Yeah.
very well.
I guess, yeah.
So the
Fair
two of
wage.
you,
Rifle through what I have and
Okay.
Okay.
And
you pull out the requisite coin, and she nods and reaches down under the counter and pulls out 4 keys, puts them down. Very simple, very normal-looking keys, and places them down in front of you and says, "Your doors will, your rooms are down the hall on your left." And she points over to a hall at the end of the first floor you're at.
It could be anything. All right, grab a key, run through the door, and randomly open which one it is, and that one is yours. Go. And this one.
And Lindo just grabs one off the counter,
Runs over to the corner, starts opening.
runs around the corner, and is gone.
you'll have, you'll have
reach
to
up.
excuse my
take a key.
compatriot.
It
He's
is
a bit
no-
energetic.
It is no problem at all. Not at all. Welcome, though. And if there's anything you need, please, just let me know. I'm Ilrana Songmeadow. Please, just let me know if there's anything.
We will, thank you.
She smiles, nods, and as you gather your keys, and after Linda already runs off, she looks and says, "It is getting on towards evening. Do you require your dinner, sir?"
Eventually. We have some things we need to do in town first.
Very well, very well. She just smiles at that. Just let me know what you need. We usually close the kitchen up several hours after sundown. So if there's anything you need from there, just let me know.
Right. Thank you.
Of course.
So let's
Welcome to
Go.
Abbott's Field.
go talk to the head cheese.
Yes, let's go talk to the abbot.
We would also need to talk to the lady, the historian that we were supposed to talk to as well. I'd like to get her the book so she can start translating it.
Oh, the Loremaster, yeah.
Loremaster Dorna. Yes.
Okay. So, Lindo, by the way, you've run around the corner. You've tried your key at 2 of the doors, and the second one opened. You're looking in at a fairly modest room. You have a comfortable-looking bed, a small bed stand. There's a candle that looks like it's just ready to be lit. It doesn't look like you have an exterior window. So it's just a very simple interior room with a light and enough room to get around.
Okay. I check under the bed.
There's nothing of note.
I pull on the sheets to make sure they don't tear apart.
They look fine.
I roll around on the pillow.
It's comfortable.
Okay. I think we can live here.
All right.
And I leave to go get my friends.
Okay. So, of course, shortly after you guys have paid for the rooms and had your very brief discussion, Lindo appears back around the corner.
Hello.
And off to the side, you can't help but notice that standing only about maybe 7 feet from you, next to a table, kind of leaning up against one of the legs of said table, is a halfling man who has what looks to be kind of sandy, brownish hair back in a ponytail. Seems to be wearing traveling clothes, very similar to what Wilf wears, honestly. Although his coat seems to be of a much different cut.
Okay.
And he's standing there, and he's got a bit of a smile on his face, and he looks over and I do not mean to pry, but I could not Help it over here. You are going to see the Loremaster, yes?
Yes.
It just so happens that I am in town also attempting to go and speak with the Loremaster. I have business with them. I some information that I require, but the priests of the Abbey will not answer my request. I've been here for 3 days, and I have been in basically a holding pattern, as it were. They just won't let me in. Perhaps you might have better chance.
Oh, we are very friendly and can convince most people that we are able to go into wherever we need to go. More often than not. Or we break in.
Well, hopefully breaking in is not really what we're trying to do here. I merely just need to go in and take a look at some of the books. Entirely above board, I assure you. It's just, my time is very precious, and again, I've been here for 3 days. You, sir, he looks at Jaxom. You look like you are a member of the clergy here. Perhaps you might entreaty them to allow me in.
I can at least give them your name.
That would be greatly appreciated, sir. Very much so.
Before we stick our neck out for you, though,
Yes,
I would like to know what what exactly you're trying to do.
Excuse me. It's very rude of me. Very rude. He holds out a hand up to you. Says, "My name is Lyle Enderwise. I am a Loremaster and treasure hunter. I am looking for information on some lost relics. Very, very particular items that have been lost to time, and they've eluded my grasp. And I've heard tell that it is possible that some of the locations of these artifacts are listed down in some musty old tomes up there in the Abbey."
Interesting. I'm gonna insight check this.
You may indeed roll an insight.
Yeah, definitely.
I am sucked in by his charisma.
Okay. Wilf, what was that insight check?
Well, I mean, Jack of all trades does give me a +1 to all my skill checks, but that means I got a 1.
I see. Well then.
17.
17, Jaxom?
Yes.
16.
A 16 for Elliot, and Lindo is totally taken in. Okay.
Totally taken in.
All right. The two of you find nothing fishy. He absolutely seems to be telling the truth. He's very earnest.
I thought it was Lyle.
Haha.
He's Lyle.
Which artifacts are these?
There was a series of these stones that were said to have been taken from my people. I'm from the Vale, you see. Vale, north of Artemisia, before you reach the swamps. They're lost to legend. They were supposed to have kind of brought luck and power to the halflings of the Vale, and they've been lost for centuries. I merely hope to bring a little bit of prosperity to my people, you understand.
Interesting.
Righto.
Yeah, we can say something.
Very well. I would. It would be very, very good of you. Thank you. If there's anything I can do for you, please don't hesitate to let me know.
Right.
I am quite knowledgeable of various things. I mean, I've been at this for quite a while. If there's anything you're looking for or anything, I might have some knowledge to exchange for your favor.
And maybe direct us to the Loremaster, you know?
No, that's the Abbot.
She'll be in the Abbey.
Oh,
Also, I mean,
man, they make this convenient. Everybody's in the same spot.
well, I mean, one thing that we have been looking for, Lyle, is it's a type of magic armor. We don't have a lot of details on it, but it's supposedly very ancient, I guess, shiny armor.
Ancient magical armor, you said?
Yeah.
Ancient shiny armor. That couldn't be from anything.
Let's see. I mean, there's quite a lot of it, you know. I mean, leftovers from the War of Ascension. I mean, there's
Sounds roundabout to that.
you're looking for artifacts. You're looking for
Yes.
items of power, then.
I mean,
We're
What?
looking for information of locations where the Dawn Guard might have been.
The Dawn Guard.
Yes.
He raises his eyebrows and, I see. Wilf is kind of pointing at his armor with a sigil on it, and Lyle
a 5-year-old.
leans in. By my stars, indeed. You are lucky people indeed if you have already stumbled across artifacts from then. I mean, it's rather astounding. I've heard rumor that maybe some things have resurfaced, but to meet you in the flesh, I must ask, who are you? Please tell me your names.
Well,
No, I have this. My name is Lindo Espina, the beautiful Thorn, and his traveling companions. That's it. Yes.
I see. Lindo Espina. Is that with one N and two?
Oh, just one.
One N. Got you. One N. Got you. Yes, very well.
Elliot, it's one N, right?
Yes.
Elliot.
Yes, it is. It is one N.
My name is Elliot Frostmoon, graduate of Anralathen.
Wow, very prestigious, and yes, well met. Master Bard. If I may, I mean, am I presumptuous? You
well,
are...
I mean, there's a big loot hanging off my back, so
Right.
yeah. Wilf. Wilf. Yeah.
Very well, Wilf. Understood. Thank you.
And Jaxom Shaw.
Jaxom Shaw. Very well. Well met, friends. It is a absolute pleasure to meet you. If there's anything, oh yes, armor. You are looking. You wish for more. You.
Well, I mean, certain related items.
We're asking for
running
a
about.
friend.
Mostly just places that the Dawn Guard might have been, or locations where they were. You seem to be a historian, so maybe you knew some of their more major
Battle
battles
scenes.
or bases, things like that.
Absolutely. Well, if you're looking local, the Dawn Guard did keep a bit of a stronghold at Silver Hill, and that was where they did a lot of work liaisoning with the dwarves of Kaskadar, and the I would say that would probably be the closest. But remember, during the War of Ascension, things were a little different. There was a little bit more land mass back then. Some of the coastline had been a little, shall we say, reorganized back then.
Mm-hmm.
But I know in Artemisia there were rumors that the Dawn Guard had a fortress that was on a mountain that flew. The actual wording is a little different, and some of the language is a bit vague. But from everything that I have been able to discern, they indeed had a mobile fortress of some kind, either on some sort of magical flying rock or a cloud or something.
Jaxom,
I'm
I
not
want
sure.
a magical flying rock. I want one. Please.
You already have a rock that makes noise.
But it doesn't fly.
If you throw it, it does.
Ah.
But honestly, any sighting of it, there's been no mention or there's nothing about it. So honestly, I wouldn't know where to point you to that other than the northern side of the mountain. You would have to crawl. You would have to make your way through Kazdolatar, through the gates, and making your way to the northern end of the mountains before you would even get to the area that it was last even vaguely mentioned in history. So hopefully that maybe is enough to go on, but...
It's a good place to start.
He
We'll at
knows
least
so much.
know where to look in places that we can go to. I'm planning on going to Anrathen again.
Absolutely, and the Dawn Guard did make their way through Anralathan many times back in the day. During the War of Ascension, Anralathan was where the magic center of the world. I mean, the most intelligent and powerful mages came together to form that nation. The Dawn Guard made up one of the three of the original triumvirate. So it is entirely plausible that maybe something you seek is there as well.
That would make sense.
Good to know.
Magic stuff at the Magic City? No, that makes sense.
Thank you, Lar. You've been an absolute font of exposition.
Well, if you absolutely anything I can do for you. If there's if you would be so kind as to mention to the Loremasters and the Abbey folk that I desperately need access for my next endeavor, and I would appreciate it, and all of this would be absolutely worth it.
Sure.
Well, definitely throw in a good word for you.
Thank you. Well, I must not keep you any longer. If you wish to go, then just let me know how it goes, and I will await your return.
Will you be staying here?
Yes, I've already been here for a couple days. I have no reason to leave.
Oh, okay then. We will go now. Goodbye.
Thank you, Lindo. Espina the beautiful Thorn.
Thank you for saying the whole thing.
Mr. Lindo, you're getting left behind.
Oh, wait, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, we're already at the door.
Okay, bye.
Okay, so the four of you leave Lyle, who sits back at the table that he was next to, and gives you a wave as you leave. The four of you make your way up the switchback lane that leads up to the doors to the Abbey itself. By the time you get there, they have very obviously noticed your arrival, and you see one of the smaller doors and the large doors that lead into the courtyard of the Abbey swings open, and you see a kind of a young half-elven woman step out, and she gives a smile and a bow and says, "If it is indeed Jaxom Shah, you have returned to us."
I have.
She smiles. You don't recognize her, but she seems to recognize you, and she smiles and motions that indeed your coming was expected. High Priest Koratz is awaiting your arrival. Please,
Hold on.
come inside. He is awaiting you in his garden.
We've brought you back, your prodigal orphan.
Indeed. Thank you.
Oh, you mean Jaxom?
Yeah.
Ah, yes.
And she leads you inside, and right through the main gates, you're going from a fairly bustling city into an almost silent courtyard. The courtyard is large enough that it looks like it can accept probably a dozen carts end to end, and seems to have doorways leading off to various different rooms, stables, etc. Fairly self-sufficient and also incredibly defendable. And as she leads you through this courtyard, through a couple archways into a smaller garden area that seems to be set up with the ability to maintain a small, actual internal garden / farm to feed the people of the Abbey itself. You see, sitting towards the center near what looks to be a well, is a fairly large and imposing golden-scaled dragonborn man, who is sitting on a stone bench, and who seems to be tending to a potted plant sitting on the bench next to him. And as you make your way in, he doesn't seem to notice you're there for a moment. He's very gently looking at each leaf and kind of moving one claw down each leaf individually, just taking almost like minutes at a time to just kind of very carefully just examine every inch of this plant. And you're all standing there.
What?
Hello, good sir.
He kind of starts and turns around.
Yes. Hello, yes. Welcome. Jaxom, my boy.
Good
And
evening,
he
Crass.
stands up. His full 6'7" form, just mountain of
That's a
scaled
biggin.
muscle. And the rest of you are looking at, I would say, Elliot, you would know the name, High Priest Artuz Koratz. You would know that name because he has been the High Priest of the Dawnfather of Pelor for a good number of years here. And that he is well known for being, across the land, as being one of the most devout humanoids to have existed in this area when it comes to their generosity and their patience.
So he's been for a number, like, decades?
Close to around 20 years is how long he's been in the area, and about, I'd say 15 of those he's been near the top echelons of the church.
So an old dragonborn.
He's in his mid-years, yeah. But
Okay.
he immediately stands and embraces Jaxom in a big hug.
I
And
hug him back.
You just see this broad smile across his features, and as
He's baring his teeth.
he pulls back and he claps you on the shoulder very gently, and he says, "My son, it is good that you're back. It is very good.
It has been far too long. How have things been?
You know, it's things have been better, honestly, but I believe maybe you have more of a story to tell me than I do you. And perhaps we can have that story next time. So thank you, dear Digidicers, for joining us on this episode of Hazardous Endeavors. Well, we will find out what High Priest Koritz has to say next time. So until then,
Game on, internets!